You know, my mom wears pants, and she's a girl.
I guess that's true.
Well, if girls can wear anything they want, then so can we. Come on, Chucky. We're gonna try on a dressy.
Why does being a boy have to be so hard?
I watch a lot of older television for my job, which is a great way for your parents to think you don't actually have a job. And a common occurrence in that is stumbling onto an episode of a show from the 70s or the 80s or the 90s or even the 2000s that, if it came out today, would probably cause at least a mild bitch fest from the right-wing reactionary crowd. You know, those losers that think Princess Peach wearing pants in the Mario movie is extreme feminist propaganda. The kind of human turds who complain about people putting politics into kids' shows, when what they usually mean is, there is a minority in my field of view. They would lose their minds if they actually watched older television and discovered that a lot of what they moan about today has been fairly common in television for decades, from the eras of media they're often nostalgic for and often venerate. Case in point, I have here a 27-year-old episode of Rugrats that covers two topics close to my heart: labor unions and exploring gender expression. Yes, even in the show where all the characters are literally babies, you can find those dreaded politics. Originally airing on October 4th, 1997, Angelica's Last Stand / Clan of the Duck is the 9th episode of Rugrats' 4th season, the 74th episode overall. Angelica's Last Stand was written by writing duo Vinnie Montello and Steve Oakes, the later of which got his start as a stand-up comedian under the name Steve O, which left me momentarily confused that a member of Jackass used to write for Rugrats. And the episode was directed by Rick Bugenthal, who had done a lot of assistant director work on The Simpsons. Angelica's opened up a lemonade stand, a refreshing glass of lemonade for a dime, classic kid stuff. But once the baby starts showing an interest in what she's doing, she puts them to work making the drink while she reaps all the profits. When the babies ask why they can't have any of the shiny dimes, Angelica comes up with a quick lie.
It's my family. We got no more monies because Spike ate all our monies, and now we're poor. Yeah, that's it. We're poor.
With the help of the babies to streamline the lemonade making process, Angelica's little stand becomes quite popular, with Angelica hoarding all of the money for herself. However, when Susie Carmichael comes around, she quickly realizes what Angelica's up to, and works to organize Tommy, Chucky, Phil, and Lil into Baby's first labor union.
No, we're not gonna do it, Angelica. It's just not fair. We want dimes. We want dimes. Here, Tommy. We want dimes. 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 We want dimes.
You don't need Cousin Angelica. Cousin Angelica needs you. Boss makes a dime. I don't make any dimes. That's why I use my diaper on company time. The babies go on a proper picket strike, and without her child labor, Angelica can't keep up with the demands and is forced to shut down the lemonade stand. The episode ends with the babies opening their own lemonade stand, employee-owned, bringing refreshing drinks to the masses outside of the system of capitalism.
Oh, we don't have any boss here. We all do all the work, and we all eat all the cookies, and we all get all the dimes.
You have nothing to lose but your playpen bars. Angelica's Last Stand is a simple but effective little cartoon, in part because work and value are things most kids pick up pretty early on, through things like chores and allowance and the fact that Masters of the Universe Stinkor action figure costs real money, and you have to figure out what that means for you as a 5-year-old. Union organizing as a theme scales pretty well to a younger audience, but that doesn't change the fact that it is a political position in a children's television show. Clan of the Duck was written by then husband and wife team Joe Cooksey and Allie Marie Matheson, who wrote the first 2 Halloween Town movies, and was directed by the late Jim Duffy, who also directed a ton of Captain Planet, All Real Monsters, and Danny Phantom. The babies are enjoying a casual day making mud sculptures in the backyard and trying to make sense of the world, In this case, trying to figure out what the best style of clothing is that mitigates rashes, feels cool in the summer, and allows for easy potty training.
Dressies are the bestest of all. You don't rub, they're nice and cool, and you still got something over your diaper for when friends come over. Of course, you boys can't wear dressies. We can't? No. Boys wear pants, and girls wear dressies.
The kids get separated by the parents as they start to take them to a nearby cultural festival, leaving Phil and Chucky alone with Phil's less than attentive father. Phil starts to figure, hey, my mom wears pants, and if girls can wear pants, why can't boys wear dressies? So the two boys find a couple of dressies with duck prints on them and go to town.
Look, if you turn around fast enough, your dressy goes up. Try it. Faster! Faster!
It's a very endearing scene of two boys exploring gendered fashion in a harmless way, finding dressies fun and in many ways practical. Eventually, Chucky and Phil wind up at the Culture Festival, still wearing their dressies because, again, Phil and Lil's dad has the awareness of a rock. Now, if you're wondering if I'm going to declare the Clan of the Duck as a secret trans episode like I'm Lily Simpson or something, no, I'm not. Chucky and Phil aren't exploring their gender, per se, just the arbitrary limitations of gender, i.e. only girls can wear dressies. But we do get one moment that is distressingly familiar to many trans people. When Chucky and Phil arrive at the festival, they meet two boys who confuse them for girls and start to take a liking to them, offering them their candy. But once the boys discover what's going on, that these two are not girls, they not only get upset, they get violent.
Hey, Joey, you've been giving candy to a boy? Well, you thought he was a girl, too. Oh, yeah. Let's get him. Yeah, boys aren't supposed to be wearing dresses. Run, Chucky!
It doesn't get any worse than slapstick violence. A couple of pies are thrown, the babies get all confused, running around the different cultural stands. They pass by some sumo wrestlers and are all like, why do those grown-ups get to wear diapers? Clothing rules make no sense. However, the initial instinct of these two boys to want to hurt these gender non-conforming people is very common in our real world. These nasty boys are eventually deterred when Chucky and Phil find themselves in the Scotland part of the festival, where a bunch of tough Scottish babies in kilts scare off the attackers with a little bit of Braveheart-style mockery. The Scottish babies dub Chucky and Phil as belonging to the Clan of the Duck, and everyone has a good old time walking around in dressies. Much like the previously discussed Fairly Odd Parents episode, The Boy Who Would Be Queen, Clan of the Duck is about how gender signifiers are entirely made up. In this case, we decided what clothes girls wear and what clothes boys wear, and that it's bad for some reason to swap those clothes around. Except, of course, that's a load of crap. Both because there's nothing stopping a man, even a cisgender man, from dressing feminine or a woman dressing masculine, and because there's always cultural exceptions, as seen here by the Scottish babies. Here's a culture where skirts have been highly masculinized and is seen as perfectly normal for boys to be wearing them. All of this is just baloney we made up, but it's a baloney that so many people believe in that they'll resort to aggression if they encounter anybody stepping outside of these agreed upon bullshit norms. And there we have it, an episode of Rugrats that feels particularly in line with modern internet discourse. Pro-worker, anti-capitalist, pro-exploring gender expressions, anti-trans violence. Which shows that the ideas that so many internet reactionaries claim are new and invasive have been in discussion for a very long time now, even in children's media. And I know there are those who think I'm reading too much into it, and to them I say, no. When we're kids, we dress up and pretend to be adults as a form of play, and through that play, we start learning how to be adults. Rugrats is very much like that. A cast of infant characters looking at the world through infant eyes, where big adult ideas can become a form of play. And through that play, we start learning how to be adults. At least that's what this episode is. How much of that carries over to the rest of the series is a bigger discussion. This was just a sample.